That's absolutely true. You want to build your network, right? So.
Right, so I see so many young people here, you know, and these are the futures of tomorrow, right? And we have every generation here that's represented.
When they talk about these things, because this will follow you all of your life. You all deal in the sports system. Comes down to operating within a system.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, Coach?
Hey.
Good to see y'all. Thank you guys for coming out. One of my former students from high school. One of the most smartest players that you could ever imagine. He played on 3 championship teams, which is amazing. And he won 4 championships. In addition to that, he's very community-minded. Love him. Yo, let's give it up for John Salley. What do you do when the game is over?
As Coach says, you got to have a plan, right? My plan was to be great. You remember, Coach? I sucked. I was just grandiose ideas, tall enough to touch a rim, but could not dunk.
Right.
Still
couldn't dunk. Right?
Still couldn't dunk. My legs wasn't strong enough. So I lived on the 8th floor in Bayview houses, and I never took the elevator. But the fact that I knew how to use both hands is Coach Gustus. Like, you had to do the fundamentals, and they show up. They show up in the craziest places. So those kind of things you learn from great coaches, and then it just helps you in your future.
You said of all the great coaches that you played for, the greatest coach that you felt, or the one that had the most impact on your career, was Coach Ted Gustus. And I'd like to hear why you feel that way.
Because I owe him money, and because he was to work with a whole bunch of knuckleheads every year. Somebody that took their time and thought it was important to help save the world, and that's how you do it. You do it in each person. I thought that was the greatest thing in the world. You should be on time. Also, you should be presentable. If you show up and you're not presentable, why should anybody want to do business with you? Practice an hour before or an hour after practice. It sounds so crazy, but when everybody is leaving, go back and shoot, go back and do something. And the better you get, it's going to show up where it needs to show up. The more you put into it, the more you get out of it. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, Canarsie Projects. When my moms came, I used to be on the roof, you know, the roof of my building and play. My moms came up one day and was like, "What you doing up there?" I said, "This is my penthouse." And she always thought I was crazy. And she was like, "Oh, this is your penthouse?" And then you look this way, you see Manhattan. So you look this way, you can see Beverly Hills. And she goes, "No, you mean Manhattan." I go, "Ma, you gotta look past Manhattan." She was in my house in Beverly Hills. I had 33-foot ceiling, all glass, facing the valley. And she was sitting there. It was a great view, right? She was like, "This is the only thing you talk about. You talk about being in Beverly Hills, looking at the valley, looking back at Brooklyn." And I did.
So one of the things I tell the young people all the time, if you don't what?
See it before you see it, you see it.
Oh, there you go. If you don't see it before you see it, you never see it. So that means you gotta see it.
Write that down, Oh, yeah, there it goes.
All right, so let's take a look at it.
Step into the immersive and transformative realm in the One Breath Metaverse.
We get the opportunity to take your career, every high school basketball player, and create this type of exhibit on your behalf.
13 of y'all, all 13 of y'all should be in the pros. Now, you've never heard that. So it's up to you to put that in your brain and make that happen. These young people. If somebody tells you you can't do it, that means you can. Because you don't even know what you can do. You don't even know what you can't do. You don't know what you can do. It's just until you do it, right? If somebody else tells you what you can do, they can't control you. They don't know at all. No more.
Out everybody right here, please. Yeah, right here, right here.